We're entering a new and even more productive phase for cross-border discussions between Chinese entities, companies, investors, and Western entities, companies, and investors. Hi, I'm Steve Dickman from CBT Advisors, and I just moderated a panel on Chinese money flowing into biotech. That could mean many different things. Chinese money for the development of products for the Chinese market, for overseas markets. It could mean investment in startups. It could also mean cross-border partnering. We're here at a partnering conference, the BioPharm America conference put on by the EBD Group, and I have the pleasure of having a chat with one of my panelists, that's Darren G. from Lilly Asia Ventures, and I'm going to ask Darren to talk a little bit about himself and then a little bit about Lilly Asia Ventures and his role there. He is a venture partner there. Darren?
Thank you, Steve. Lilly Asia Ventures is a part of initial Lilly Venture as a corporate venture group, but now operate independently as a professional VC group out of Shanghai. It invests in both in China and the world. It has both the US dollar currency and also Chinese currency. So it's agnostic.
A global fund.
Yes, it's a global fund. Yes. Mm-hmm. It manages over $1 billion in assets, so very much a value-driven, science-driven investment.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. And you personally, what's your background?
I was the vice president and global head for Roche Partnering before I joined Lilly Asia Ventures. So I managed many of the deals or licensing acquisition out of many of the countries, over 100 countries, essentially, for the responsibilities.
Were you based in Basel or in the United States?
I was based in Shanghai, in fact, but I managed offices in Japan, in Basel, out of San Francisco as well.
Yes. Okay.
So my role with Lilly Asia Ventures is essentially to work with them to help portfolio companies on business development, deal making, due diligence, whatever strategy for the portfolio companies, new assets. But in the meantime, my big role is to join the setup companies, the managed companies in Lilly Asia Ventures. So we just set up one company together called LP Sciences. We're focusing on immunotherapy for cancer.
Immunotherapy for cancer.
Yeah, exactly. It's a hot space. We still see a big market space in China. We want to focus on China first, but we have both innovative products and also the licensing products for China market. Hopefully we'll be a global player as well in the space.
So your personal role, you're really part of the value add that Lilly Asia Ventures brings to the portfolio companies. It's one thing to be a venture investor and bring money, but Lilly Asia Ventures tries to bring much more than money, and your part of what they're bringing is deep experience in international deal making and international understanding of the pharmaceutical industry, plus this sort of very specific knowledge of what's needed for the Chinese market.
I think that's well said. Yes. My role would be, I'll be the CEO of the new company, to manage the company, to drive the company, build a team, driving the strategies, using the international experience and business development experience to do the collaboration, partnering, so we can leverage the good side of both world innovation, both for China and for the world, and also eventually to efficiently use the capital of Lilly Asia Ventures, that we can build more values out of the pipeline and our own products.
Yes, I can imagine that it's an unusual role that you get to work with multiple portfolio companies and also scout new opportunities at the same time.
Well, it's very interesting because Lilly Asia Ventures has a lot of initiative and also capital to invest into new innovations, and being in the position of in the middle of both riding on the capital piece and also on the world innovation piece, and matchmaking both together is very exciting role.
Yes. No, I mean, I certainly have noticed that Lilly Asia Ventures has been growing in international recognition. In fact, just about a week and a half ago, there was an article in BioCentury, a two-pager, in the September 18th issue of BioCentury. I think it's available on their website, that talks about your strategy for investing globally, not just investing in China, but also investing quite a bit in the United States.
Yes, it does. In investing quite a bit of innovative companies in the US, working with big thought leaders in the industry, both academic and industry, immunotherapy, gene therapy, you talk about all the frontline innovations. It's really trailblazing both for China and for the world in the in biotech innovation piece.
Yes, and as we were discussing on the panel, it feels like we're entering a new and even more productive phase for cross-border discussions between Chinese entities, companies, investors, and Western entities, companies and investors. It feels like there are dialogues happening on many different levels, and it feels like by being a fund that has the Asian background but a global focus, you're participating on many levels yourselves.
It's a perfect timing. It's perfect place, perfect timing. A lot of innovation coming out of China, tap into China market, but also a lot of innovation from world, which is bridging for both Asian market and the world. I think it's really a nice marriage of the both world to come together with a strong capital.
It's beautiful. On the panel we talked about the dating game, and in the interview we're talking about the marriage. I think that's
true, right?
Perfect place to close.
Hopefully every dating will come to a nice marriage.
Exactly. So I want to thank you very, very much, Darren. This was very interesting, and I look forward to speaking further.
Thank you for interviewing.